It is time to start with the first panel called The Crimes, Starvation, Ecocide, and Domicide. I do like to emphasize that after every speaking, we will have time to make a discussion with opening questions and answer session. So we should start with Hani Almadhoun and a subject called Starvation by Design, Blockade and the Fight to Feed Gaza. We're talking to a witness and they're online. Honey, good morning. Do you hear us?
Yes, good morning.
Please, the time is yours.
Thank you. Honorable jury of conscience, esteemed colleagues, and all listening in from around the world. Thank you for inviting me today. Thank you for your critical work. You are doing to document and report the truth on the cruelties the Palestinians in Gaza and the West Bank are enduring. My testimony can help in this effort. I serve as the Senior Director of Philanthropy for UNRWA USA, but in early 2024, I co-founded the Gaza Soup Kitchen with my late brother, Chef Mahmoud. I am here to speak about the occupation's deliberate starvation of Gaza, a crime the world has witnessed and must never forget. Along with my family and colleagues at the Gaza Soup Kitchen, I have been seeing firsthand how impossible it has become to get even minimal aid into Gaza over the past 2 years, because the occupation has intentionally and consistently blocked it. The kitchen's work has not been easy, nor has it been easy for any individual or organization in Gaza trying to save people from starvation. I hear the difficulties in my family's voices and the messages they send me every day, every night. They are being starved, they're watching neighbors starve, and they still try every day to find ways to feed their family, their neighbors, and friends. Ever since Israel announced its first total blockade of Gaza on October 9, 2023, it has largely blocked food, medicine, and other essentials from entering the Strip. Some minimal aid has been allowed in over the past 2 years, but never enough for the Palestinians to survive. And the occupation knows this. As The Guardian reported, Israeli government data confirms that Gaza has been systematically starved. From March through June this year, they allowed less than 25% of the food Gaza needs. Less than 25% of what 2.3 million people needed to survive. Thanks to the Palestinian journalists, the world has finally been seeing the consequences. Famine set and emaciated children took their last breath, even as hundreds of trucks full of humanitarian aid sat waiting at Gaza borders, denied entry by Israel. With funds raised by people around the world, my family and colleagues at the Gaza Soup Kitchen have continued to serve people as best as we can. Sometimes all we could offer was a bland pasta or soup made out of foraged plants, but it has helped people survive. In total, we served about 19 million meals to half a million people since early 2024. Some of these things we were able to cook because the rain grew some of these leaves and plants. I'm constantly in touch with colleagues coordinating the kitchens around the Gaza Strip. They tell me stories of families walking miles for a meal, children with arms so thin you could see every bone. Mothers and grandmothers are collapsing on the streets, especially last summer and this summer as well. There are many rounds of famine that happened in Gaza. The most brutal one happened in May, June, and July of this year, when one elderly woman fainted in the front of our kitchen, and my team thankfully had access to an IV in our medical point that saved her life. Through all this, I have watched our staff endure the pain of hunger themselves, losing weight, losing hair, and yet they return every single day to feed others. Because if they stopped, who else could feed the people? Through grief, through labor, and love, we Palestinians continue to find ways to feed each other, even after burying brothers, sisters, children, and neighbors killed by bombing, starvation, or preventable diseases. And what makes it all worse is the occupation's effort to deny its crimes. They have used old photos from our kitchen to claim there are no famine in Gaza, 4 months old, taken before hunger peaked. It was hard to describe the horror I felt, even knowing that the propaganda campaigns have shielded the occupation for nearly 80 years. They showed our modest food as if it was abundance, while children cried in silence. Neighbors scavenged for leaves and weed, and mothers went without so their babies might survive another night. They also endangered my family again after losing my brother, my beloved brother, to a targeted bombing. They manipulated images of our efforts to care for each other to pretend nothing was wrong. This is the same army that sent a drone to kill my brother Chef Mahmoud. His only crime was delivering food for the Kamal Adwan hospital in North Gaza. The day he was killed, they sent a drone to monitor the situation. He was walking to Kamal Adwan Hospital to meet with Dr. Hussam Abu Safiya because he had delivered produce that day. And before he can get there, their violence claimed his life. This is the audacity of the occupation, to starve an entire population, to engineer suffering, then twist our resilience into a claim that we are the liars. We are asked, the Palestinians are the only people under the sun who are asked every day to prove and provide evidence to show our suffering. These propaganda machines show a pot of stew or meager bread to distract us from the fact that they have decimated Gaza, destroying homes, livelihood, and land. On Gaza Humanitarian Foundation aid sites, or as some call them, the Gaza Horror Foundation aid sites, Palestinians seeking help were systematically targeted. My 18-year-old cousin Samih was killed at those aid sites near Khan Yunis in August. His body was delivered to us unclothed, a violation of deeply held cultural and religious tradition. Countless other aid seekers have vanished under similar circumstances. I raise this because the campaign of lies will continue. Until today, Gaza does not have enough food. Even the agreements with the ceasefire have not been met. There are those who will act as if Gaza's suffering wasn't severe. We must not let that narrative take hold. The occupation starves Gaza, and it continues to do so. Even during the current ceasefire, aid has not flowed into Gaza as promised. And instead of 608 trucks, Gaza sees an average of only 89 trucks. We know that Gaza needs more than 608 trucks. The United Nations confirms that it does not get in sufficient amount. We must do three things. I'm here to ask you. Keep pressure on the occupation until Gaza is fully fed. Never allow anyone to question that Israel starved Gaza. Share the proof, show the calculated design behind it. This is not an accident. This is not an act of nature. You need to name those who starved the Palestinians. 3. Push to end the siege and occupation. Because forcing famine is not new. Even before the complete blockade in 2007, The occupation limited the types of amount of nutrition and nutrients the resources were allowed into Gaza. Much of these policies remain in addition to the genocidal practices that we're seeing. As the soup kitchen, we cannot pretend things are in dire. We witness hunger daily. We taste it in every dry mouth. We see it in every thinning arm, in every face of a father who once sang his children to sleep after dinner. We see them trying to get food for their kids, and they themselves skip these meals. We fight with what the little we have. We barter, we cook. Even getting money to Gaza has become akin to a mission impossible. How can we get our family food if we can't get the money to buy what's little in Gaza? At the Gaza Soup Kitchen, we distribute meals, we bury our loved ones and return to ladle of soup the same afternoon. This is the reality for Palestinians. This is Gaza's right now. We buried Chef Mahmoud, and the next day, my sister Chef Fatin was cooking for the community. And yet, despite the bombs, drones, rockets, and destroyed homes, we continue. Every meal, every cup of water, every tray of bread is an act of defiance, a refusal to allow our children, neighbors, and people to quietly disappear as the occupation wishes. The Gaza Soup Kitchen was never supposed to exist, but here we are, 20 months into our operation, and instead of closing soup kitchens, we're opening more because Israel continues to gift us more suffering, to test our patience, and claim the lives of many family members. So I tell you now, the Gaza Soup Kitchen is not a photo op. Gaza is not a photo op. It is a place of grief, defiance, a testament to what truly means to provide aid in times of need. The message was sent to the world this week is vital. Gaza will continue. Palestinians will continue. We will always continue. And the world must join us in doing more to name and stop these crimes against humanity. As Chef Mahmoud, my assassinated brother, who served meals to his community, used to say in Arabic, Mustamireen. Thank you.